A bandwave hits some Armored Core 6 players on PC, and it's time for an Armored Core 6 community content bonanza. We have all that and more coming up in this video. Hello, I'm Cleric, and I'm here to tell you... First, our lead news story. It appears a small bandwave went out on the PC side of Armored Core 6. Some players reported that when they logged into the game last week, they were greeted with this message. Warning, your account has been penalized. A 180-day penalty has been imposed on your account due to unauthorized game tampering detected on your account. This penalty will be lifted at the end of this period, but if the further tampering with the game is detected, the 180-day penalty will be imposed again. Tampering with the game is a violation of the online terms of service. These same players will find themselves with the following message when they attempt to go to the nest, that's the online portion of Armored Core 6. Not just the ranked portion, just the online portion in general. Here's the message. This account is currently blocked from the Armored Core 6 online matches. Many players said they never modded or cheated or did anything untowards in the online scene, and were very confused what caused this problem. Upon further investigation, myself and many others in the community, after doing some research, it appears that this bandwave is related to saved data sharing. Now, some of you may not remember, but many players on the PC side experienced getting corrupted data saves early on in Armored Core 6's lifespan. It was as widespread enough that From even posted on their official support player Twitter page all the way back on August 30th of last year. Many, myself included, since then have been taking regular backups of their saves. But for those who are not lucky enough to have a copy of a backup of their save, they have been gotten completed saves from either friends or from websites that offer complete save downloads. Now, up to this point, this has not been an issue, but it appears From has decided this is something they deem breaks the terms of service and are sending out bans. As previously reported, along with the ranked season reset, there were messages went out talking to people about being quitters or pluggers or having improper gameplay. There also was a message went to some people talking about game tampering. Looking at the terms of service, here is the portion that is related to this specifically. It is from subsection 2 and 5 of section 2 and section 3 of article 10 of the Armored Core 6 Fires Rubicon terms of service. Quote, subsection 2, no player shall perform any of the following acts in the game: making alterations to the game's program, game data, and or save data, the uses of any altered program data regardless of the circumstances, or performing any other act determined to be inappropriate by the company or third party providing any of the systems used for the services. Number 3, with respect to players who performed acts prohibited under the article, the company or the third party providing any of the systems used for the services shall be entitled at its discretion to give such players warnings, delete the recorded data of such players, or have such players suspend or cease their use of the services. Now, I have reached out to my contacts, and they did inform me that players can actually appeal this by putting in an official support ticket with Bandai Namco. I have a link in the description below on how to submit that ticket. In more game news, I am righting a wrong from last video. My last news video, I intended to include this. I even had it recorded and I completely forgot. So here I am re-recording it now for this one and giving an official apology. So I want to officially apologize to Teapot, who went through the grueling task of going into singles ranked on the PC side and purposely went in and lose. And they lost over and over again to be the absolute bottom possible person in the rank, to be at an idea why of how many people in singles rank PC were actually there. So at the end of the season, right before the reset, Teapot checked what it was, and there were 3,028 S ranks on the PC single side of the game. Thank you, Teapot, for all your hard work. I'm sure that took you quite a bit of time. Moving on over to model kit news. Haven't had one of these for a while. As previously reported, 30-minute missions have been working on model kits for Armored Core 6. They announced a special live viewing event showing off these model kits, as on March 20th at 1500 their time, which is about 1 a.m. here where I am Central Time, United States, on March 20th. Maybe I'll do a live stream reaction in the middle of the night, or maybe not, I don't know. Sleep is definitely a good thing. Now moving on over to community news. As I had mentioned in my previous news video, I will be adding links in the description of each news video that goes over to various AC communities that are hosting events and tournaments, so you have a chance to be up to speed or be involved or participate in some of these events if you wish. I am doing this because if I didn't, half of each of these videos would just be covering tournament announcements over and over and over again. I would like the news to be a wider variety. With that being said, I've been wanting to do a community spotlight in order to show off some people who are still either regularly putting out Armored Core content or maybe putting some AC content you weren't aware of other than events and tournaments. Not saying 8 tournaments or events are not viable. I've talked about them all the time. I encourage people to participate in these things, but I want to show off some things that I think are really good stuff or still really valuable to people that isn't just those 2 things. Now, those of you who know me know I'm all about community. So I thought it'd be good to do a segment this week and do what at least what I know of personally in the Armored Core space, people either doing streams or videos for Armored Core 6. Now, realize this first and foremost, this is not an exhaustive list. And if you feel there are some people that deserve some recognition and aren't mentioned, please comment below in the video or fill out the new submission form link in the below description. Now, again, this is just people I personally know and things I've personally seen, which is why I'm giving them a shout out. Hopefully next time we'll have to do more, we'll see. So in rapid fire succession, hopefully all in one take, as most of these things usually are, you have Anubis, who I talked about last week, who does hit list challenge runs. He streams them and then uploads them later on to YouTube. In fact, he had a YouTube video recently talking about some really cool tech that happens in the hit list runs that are a lot of fun. You have Domo Mosh, a streamer who plays Armored Core 6 using dual flight sticks and dual foot pedals, something I don't think I could do. He does some ranked, but also does a lot of challenge runs like Nuzlocke runs, among many others. You have Green Knight, a YouTuber who has a long-running set of videos called his Reforged series, where he takes either existing NPC ACs and upgrades them to be better or more viable options. He also has a Requiem series where he does the same kind of thing for player-submitted ACs. You have Reckon Returns, who takes a more nuanced and introspective look at Armored Core, whether it's looking at a specific aspect of the game or even certain game modes. Kind of think of it as like an Armored Core TED Talk. You have Krite, though not as recent, did a ton of breakdowns on individual mechanics and parts in Armored Core 6, from how the headpieces work to how speed is calculated. It is very, very thorough and a very scientific approach to AC. You have Shock Music, who is not new to this channel. In fact, his music's in this channel video right now. And someone who still, every week, is banging out track after track of original Armored Core inspired music. You have Thrife. He has a series of taking ACs from past Armored Core titles and making them in AC6 and then taking them into PvP. You have Moby Geeks Out, who has a series of videos talking with top-end PvP players, explaining how to play their builds they like to use. You have Armored Core Lore, who deep dives into the story and lore elements of Armored Core series. You have Mason Rosenquist, who makes insanely detailed 3D models of Armored Core AC parts. He recently finished the AC3 starter AC and is working on some new parts now. By the way, Mason, that's some sick work as always. You have TXX Nexus, who is a creator of the Armored Core 6 Armory mod, my personal favorite mod so far in Armored Core 6. You have Umiuri, who has a large variety of different Armored Core 6 videos, including some very hard boss challenge fights. You have Loyal Bones, a streamer who is a melee enthusiast, and that's understating it. This guy loves melee. Regularly running melee lobbies and is soon hosting their very first melee-only AC6 tournament. And you even have players who I was delighted this recently to get invited to a Discord group of people from my Armored Core AC forum past who are putting up videos and things for Armored Core 6 like Penguin Deuce and TM Raven and Buyaka. It was a major blast of the past and nostalgia. It was awesome to get to see these people again. And honestly, this list could go on and on and on, but there it is. And like I said, I have no doubt there's more there that deserve to be covered. So if you have someone who think you deserve some recognition, please comment below or fill out the news form. Whew. That was lots to cover in one take. Hopefully it wasn't too fast for you. As always, we finish up with our meme of the week. Here is this week's meme, courtesy of user YouLikeWhatYou33. I'm guessing it's actually what you see, but you know, I'm a dork. I don't read lead speak quickly. From the Armored Core subreddit. Here's this week's meme. Now, when I saw this meme, I was laughing a fair bit because yes, it is extremely true. The chain gun in AC3 is very strong. And as you can see here, the mechanic being used back in AC3 where any like non-missile back cannons, for example, required kneeling if you were a biped. Just imagine this person was running OP Intensify, could run around with a chain gun, just destructing everything while flying around midair with almost infinite energy. Yeah, chain gun was pretty strong back in AC3. Alright, well, that's all the news I have for you today. The links to each of these items covered are in the description below, as well as places to go participate in some events or tournaments. There's a lot out there to cover, but if you would like me to submit a piece of news for me to cover in 2 future news videos, there's a link in the description also so you can submit that form. Thank you all for your time. This is Cleric, signing off.